Hello everyone, welcome back to the Palace of Polish. As you all know, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. So if you would like to see how I achieved this Valentine's Day nail design, then please stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I will be showing you how I did these Valentine's Day nails. And to achieve this look, I used these nail forms. They are stilettos, and with these you can create a perfect coffin shape by just filing off the tip. And I got these off of AliExpress, and I used a clear polygel. For the colors, I used this red by Gel Polish brand. It is number 1535, and this white by Rosalind, it is 02. And of course you can use any red polish and white polish that you prefer. You can use gel polish or regular polish if you prefer. I prefer gel polish. And also I used this stamping plate by Bundle Monster. It is number 421. So to start, we're going to go on ahead and go in with our red. And remember that when you're painting, to start a little bit away from the cuticle. You can see how I'm doing that. Start a little bit away and push back. And this will help you get that perfect cuticle line without actually touching your cuticles. And of course, if you make any mistakes, like I just did there, cleanup is very easy to do. You can see that little bit of red that I got on my cuticle. You just take your thumbnail and wipe it off. And that's why I love gel polish. It's very easy to fix our mistakes because the polish doesn't dry, it has to cure. And always remember to cap your ends. And with gel polish, remember to use very thin coats, because not all colors, but a lot of colors, especially your very opaque ones, will wrinkle in your lamp if the coat is too thick. And another helpful trick that I have learned, even when you're using multiple colors, it's better to go on ahead and do these 4 fingers first, because with the way that your hand sits, if you paint your thumb first, which is something that I tend to do, and I had to learn this the hard way, your product will flow downwards and you will wind up with an excess amount right here, and it will be bulbous and it's just a mess, and you won't even realize it until after you've already cured. Then you have to completely redo your thumb. Will drive you crazy. So always do your first 4 fingers, do your thumb last. Now we're going to go in with our white, doing a very thin coat. And forgive me guys, I am a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to getting my polish sidewall to sidewall. I really hate naked places on my nail. And if you're not careful, you won't even notice it until after your polish is cured and you've already left the house for the day. Oh, it drives me crazy. Okay, now we're going to go back in with our red and finish our thumb. And we're just going to push towards the cuticle and drag it down. And I would rather get a little bit on my finger there, like you see, and clean that off than to have naked nail because I didn't take my brush far enough. So it's always better to just clean that up than it is to have naked place on your nails. Because as you see, cleaning it up is not a problem. Because you can always just wipe gel off with alcohol, which is not corrosive to your manicure, which is another thing that I love about gel. To get regular nail polish off, you have to have acetone, which then puts your entire manicure in danger. Alright guys, that looks pretty good. So now we're just going to pop this into the lamp for 30 seconds or a minute, whatever your instructions for your polish call for.
New kid.
Alright everyone, we're back. Now we're going to go in for our second coat because as you can see, you can still see the free edge underneath that polish, so it's definitely going to need a second coat. Here's another quick little trick for you guys. It's always a good idea to have a little pump bottle off to the side like this one with some alcohol in it and a nice little angled brush like this one. You can see that? And just dip that in your alcohol, and it's a lot easier when you have a really big mess like I do. It's a lot easier to clean that up with a nice little angled brush. Makes the process a lot simpler. Because you can just swipe that in. Alright, now let's go back in with our white. Do our second coat of white. That looks good. And now we're going to pop it back into the lamp for another 30 seconds.
New kid.
Okay everyone, now we have our colors completed. Now it's time for the fun part, stamping! Yay! Now, it's always good to have a protective surface of some sort to use. This is just a baggie that I got some goodies in the other day, and it's absolutely perfect for this. Here's our stamping plate. Now, you can use any stamping plate you like. There are endless amounts of stamping plates with hearts and kisses. Here's another one that I have that has some little lips on it, and this is Bundle Monster 002. Also really cute for this design. But we're going to go with the hearts, and on one side the hearts are really nice and sweet. Me plus you equals forever, cutie pie. And then on the other side we have really mean ones that say just friends, you stink, and some rather vulgar ones. So we're going to go with the really sweet side. And this is Bundle Monster stamping polish in red. Of course, I also have other brands. I have Queen and some no-name brands over here, so you can use anything that you like. But we're going to go with this because it's the only red that I have. And the stamping process is really simple. If you don't know how to stamp or you've never seen anybody stamp, it's actually really a lot of fun. You will need a little stamper like this. I got this off of Amazon and it came with the card. And so far I'm really loving it, by the way. Also, one more thing that you will need is I'm using a roll of masking tape. You can also use one of those rollers that you get from the dollar store for picking up pet hair and things like that. But as you can see, any leftover stamping that you have on your stamper, you just roll it across and it will pick up any dirt and debris, and it's a quick and easy way to clean your stamper. And whereas acetone and alcohol tends to damage the really soft jelly, the tape or the adhesive does not. It'll simply take your leftovers off, and it's a really quick way to clean your tool. Okay, so we're gonna set our stamper off to the side. With this, you kind of have to work fast. Now, with the stamping gel, you do not. It does come in a gel that you have to cure after you stamp it on, but we're not using that today. So we're just going to paint across the plate. This is a pretty big one, so don't be afraid to really get in there with your polish. Quick trick, do not double scrape. You only want to scrape one time, and then roll your stamp across the image. And see how well that picked up? We do have a little bit there, but it's really easy to go in and clean that up. There we go. And now we have a really cute and perfect stamp. And now we're just going to stamp it on, and you see how it's got a little magnifying glass in there, so you can really get in there. And we're just going to run it across like so, and there you go. And notice how my nail was a little too long for the image, so that's okay. What we're going to do is I have a separate pump bottle off to the side that is just acetone, and we're going to take a no wipe or a lint-free wipe. Always use lint-free wipes. Remember that the cotton little rounds that you get at the dollar store, they work well for some things, but when you have fuzzies in your manicure, you will regret using those. These are very cheap. I got 100 pack off of AliExpress for just a couple of dollars from Rosalind. So it's really well worth it to get the lint-free. Alright, so let's kind of get an idea of what we've got here. We're just going to do about half of the plate. We're just going to paint that on there. Just enough to finish up our design so that our nail looks really filled up. And let's just scrape that across. Roll our design. And there you can see how perfectly that came out. So let's just kind of try to figure out where this would fit in the best. And we'll just go like that, and you can see down in there what that looks like. And that's our little Cupid hearts. Yeah. Let's set this to the side. You do need acetone to clean this. Now with the stamping gel, you don't. You can clean it with alcohol just like every other gel. And that's one downside to this, but it's really opaque, so it does a really good job of covering. So that's why I really like this. Now, we're going to go in with our Rosalind Diamond Top Coat. And we're going to make these bad boys so shiny. And just look at how pretty. Okay. We're going to go on ahead and top coat. Well, actually, hang on a second. This is another reason. We're going to go in with our acetone and our angle brush because we do have a little bit of our stamping design on the side walls and we don't want that. Now be careful. Make sure not to flood your brush with the acetone because these are so thin and it really doesn't take much to mess them up if you actually touch your nail. And see how much better that looks, how much cleaner. Just knock all that off. There we go. Now we can top coat it. And this won't smudge. The gels, it really seems to not matter how much you cure them. They tend to smudge. Now, maybe it might have just been the brand that I was using because, let's face it, I am cheap. I buy a lot of cheap products. And I find that most of them work really well. Rosalind has my heart. I am a forever loyal customer to Rosalind. I have tried things like Model 1s. Never tried Gelish because I'm poor. So Gelish is just one of those out of reach things for me. I've never used any IBD products. I definitely tend to go for the more inexpensive products. But like I said, I usually tend to get really good results from these cheaper products. The only thing that I didn't really care for was the stamping gel. The images tended to be a little blurry. Didn't matter what stamper I used, didn't matter what plate that I used, and it didn't matter what top coat I used. They tended to start blurry, and then when you would drag your top coat across, they would smudge. So now we're going to top coat our thumb. We're almost done, guys. And always try to make sure that you cover everything with your top coat because gel polish has a tacky layer and a no-wipe top coat is obviously non-tacky. So if you don't cover everything, you will find that you have a sticky spot somewhere, which is fine. You can clean that up with alcohol. Just another lint-free wipe and some alcohol and you're good to go. So we're going to pop this in the lamp for a full minute.
New Kid.
All right, you guys, and we are done. One final step. Always go in with a nice cuticle oil. This is my Fruit Loops cuticle oil. Just a couple clicks. And that looks so much better, you guys. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like. If you have any ideas for future videos, please leave me a comment. And if you would like to see future videos like this, please consider subscribing. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.